VCs are starting their marketing push again. This time, they're very excited about the marrying of AI technology and blockchain. Let's dive into this. Welcome back, everybody. Let's dive into this ridiculousness. Now, as you may or may not know, we have already covered the AI grift and blockchain. But of course, as AI continues to gain in popularity, we're hearing more and more about it. And of course, it never stops the proponents of AI from painting the developments with a very rosy lens. Anyways, let's dive into this. Microsoft to explore digital payments and CBDCs. Nope. Nope. Aptos Labs, a layer 1 blockchain started by former Facebook employees, is integrating Microsoft's artificial intelligence technology to serve users and developers. Okay, so it's not Microsoft that's exploring CBDCs or digital payments. It's not. It's just this random shitcoin that wants to use Microsoft's AI. I'll talk a little bit after about partnerships and what I call the partnership parade, because it's complete nonsense. Anyways, one such offering is a chatbot called Aptos Assistant. So as I explain this, I want you to think, why should this be money? Why should this be tokenized? So the offering is a chatbot called Aptos Assistant, which will answer user questions about the Aptos ecosystem and provide useful resources to developers working on smart contracts and dApps. So why would I need your shitcoin to do this? The token isn't required to perform this function in any way, shape, or form. It's not. Think about it. All you really need is the chatbot. There's no usefulness to the token. There's no reason for a Aptos token to exist in any way, shape, or form to perform the function of providing, quote unquote, AI responses to questions about the ecosystem. Like, this is fucking nonsense. Anyways, both companies have reached an agreement to investigate. This is the key, guys. This is the key to the partnership parade. Both companies have reached an agreement to investigate blockchain-based financial service solutions, such as the tokenization of assets, various payment methods, and central bank digital currencies, with the goal of expanding the applications of blockchain technology. This is a giant nothing burger, okay? Absolutely nothing. It's garbage. It doesn't mean... All it is two companies saying, hey, we're going to take a look at this stuff. That's it. That's all it is. In the most recent few months, blockchains of all shapes and sizes have been racing to implement AI technology in response to the meteoric rise in popularity of applications like ChatGPT. Since venture investors have shifted some of the attention that was previously focused on cryptocurrency businesses, again, another key point here. So the attention has shifted from quote unquote crypto to AI. So poof, Aptos morphs and starts to use AI. Anyways, and AI has become an essential component of both funding and the pursuit of technical talent. So yeah, we're just looking for money. This is so stupid. The developers working behind Aptos Labs have found solutions to some of the most difficult challenges in blockchain technology at an enormous scale while maintaining a high level of security. This alliance highlights the joint commitment to decentralization that Microsoft and Aptos have made to decentralization. What? What did I just read? This alliance highlights the joint commitment to decentralization that Microsoft and Aptos have made to decentralization. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Anyways, let's continue on here. Of course, there's a shitcoin, right, tied to this. Here it is. This is the Aptos shitcoin. And of course, you sit there and you think, oh, $7. Oh, this thing is, this thing might be worth something. Anyways, so look, max supply. Right? The max supply is infinity. They can just print as many as they want. Okay. And anyways, I don't really care about the coin, the coin market cap chart, but let's zoom out and let's quickly go take a look at their monthly chart, just sorry, the weekly chart. Okay, just so you could zoom out and take a look. So this is just the typical pump and dump. Okay, where there's a whole bunch of hype, and there's obviously no freaking usefulness behind this thing. So it just goes and it dumps. And now here it is doing its little flat line dance, going lower and lower. Personally, I would just stay away from this. We're going to discuss a bit after about if you decide that you want to invest in AI or something like that. You can go and look at legitimate companies that are actually building technologies. And if you want, and again, it's not investing advice, but if you are a person who purchases equities, you can go and buy shares of a company, which at the very least, gives you some kind of assurance to their earnings, or at least gives you access to their earnings potential by way of owning the shares and possibly if they pay a dividend. Anyways, let's go take a look at who's invested in this piece of crap, right? Because obviously there's a lot of people, I'm sure, that want their money back. Here we are on App Deal Room, and let's go take a look here at Aptos Labs. All right, here we go. Aptos Labs funding. All right. So initially it was funded by the likes of Binance Labs, which we have already shown. That Binance Labs has had a problem where they were the market makers for their projects that they were incubating, and they were creating, and they were actually creating all the marketing news for it. So you create the volume, you create the marketing. All right. So that's already a good thing. Okay. Anyways, let's go take a look at March 2022. Andreessen Horowitz, right? A16Z, possibly the biggest funder of shitcoins in the space. Go take a look at the projects that they fund. The entire shitcoin ecosystem, or at least, a very large percentage of it is really just A16Z companies, these zombie companies. But wait, this gets better. Multicoin Capital. Okay, that's Kyle Samini or whatever. Too many M's and N's. That's another desperate shitcoiner that's nothing but freaking wrecked. FTX. Ooh, that's great. Oh, look at this. Three Arrows Capital, another winner. Oh my God. Oh, look, PayPal Ventures. Oh, look at that. PayPal. Great. All right. And then in July 2022, A16Z gave them a little more money. This time, right? Now we've got Franklin Templeton Investments, right? That's TradFi. Okay. We've got Circle Ventures. Again, multi-coin cap. Oh, look at that. FTX gave them a little more money before they blew out of the water. And then in September, Binance. Okay. So this is just another shitcoin grift, like every other shitcoin grift. Let's talk about AI. Okay. So I've been using AI tools for some of the videos and some of the thumbnails and stuff like that. And it's amazing. I know that this is probably going to freak people out. Okay. But when I pay for my subscription for some of these tools, it sounds crazy. I pay with a debit card. I know it sounds nuts. It sounds nuts. They don't need a shitcoin. So my point is that a real AI company that actually has a proper product or service to offer to market, that believes that they can extract value with, they're going to be able to charge you for that product, right? They're not going to sit there and just develop a shitcoin to keep themselves afloat, because in reality, there's no business model behind that. Okay, there really isn't a business model, with the exception of extracting money from naive noobs. Now, the other piece to this, okay, is the partnership parade. Okay, so as I've explained this in the past, I worked for a few Fortune 500 companies, and I remember when I first got into this. I'm not talking about Bitcoin, but when I first got into the tech field and I would start reading through the news, and I was like, oh my gosh, this company's shares are going to jump because they're in a partnership with a much larger company. Now, at the time, I didn't understand that this meant nothing. Okay. But then with experience and moving up the ladder in these giant corporations, you start to learn that these partnerships, they don't actually mean anything. They don't even actually have to materialize. But what they do is they keep the company names in the news and they keep it relevant. Now, I'm not saying that that's the only goal of that, but what I am saying is that it's much less important that they're in a partnership than you think. Okay, that is 100% sure. I have yet to see any shitcoin partnership equal anything of substance for anyone. Okay, you gotta if you look back and look at how many of these shitcoins have had partnerships with Oracle and this. I think I was talking about this last week. There was this shitcoin back in the day called IOTA, and they had this network type. I think they were calling it the Tangle. Okay, so essentially it's, I don't know, your transactions exist, but they don't exist. I don't remember the whole thing, but they had a partnership with BMW, and everyone was like, "That's it, IOTA's going to the moon." Partnership with BMW. So why? So why is that? Like, why is IOTA going to become money because supposedly BMW partnered with them? In the end, that was 4 years ago. Nothing has ever come of that. IOTA didn't become something special. BMW never bought their IP over. Those companies never merged. I mean, there was never anything else that ever came of it because really it means absolutely nothing. Now, to the point of investing in AI companies, okay? Buying a shitcoin is the lowest hanging fruit. And it's not even fruit. It's like the lowest hanging dumpster garbage. Like really, that's what it is. Because there is no reason. Okay, there is no use case for that token to exist except to extract value from you under the guise of some type of future return based on the technology that this shitcoin is supposedly working on with somebody else. Okay, so this is absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. So really, the shitcoin is there just to keep the lights on. If you want to go take a look at companies, right, that are actually doing AI development, well, then you may want to look at companies such as Microsoft. You may want to look at companies even like NVIDIA. You may want to look at companies like Amazon. And if you choose, if let's say you decide to invest in any of these companies, and again, this is not investment advice. It's so sad that we have to repeat this shit. Because, I mean, people should be responsible for their own actions, right? I shouldn't have to tell you that this isn't investment advice. But, yeah, it isn't. It is not investment advice, but it is definitely advice to stay away from shitcoins, okay? There is no shitcoin AI that is going to be the next big thing. All it is giant corporations. That's all. It's just giant corporations that are going to come out with IP, and they're going to patent that IP. That's really all it is. So if you want to actually have exposure to quote unquote AI technologies, then you got to be looking at the Microsofts, the Amazons, the Oracles, NVIDIAs. You got to be looking at those types of companies. You know, you got Google, right? Like, this is the type of stuff you got to be looking at. And notice none of these companies have a shitcoin. Right? You got to go, well, I mean, I guess that's debatable, right? Because they have equities. So we can get into that whole conversation, but they don't have a shitcoin. They have actual stock, right? That creates essentially a contract, right? Between the shareholder and the share issuer. And at least it entitles you to something. But holding a shitcoin for a company that's pretending to be doing something with AI, it's completely irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. And at the end of the day, if you didn't understand what that whole article was, the whole article made it sound all puffy, but really all that they're doing is using Microsoft Azure to host their environment. Okay, Aptos is using the Azure cloud to host their environment, and they're using Microsoft's AI integration to do testing with and to work with. That's it. That's all they're doing. Stay away from the AI grift coins. We told you this before. We are going to continue to tell you this. None of this technology needs a frickin' token, guys. Anyways, that's the end of our clip. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and I will catch you all tomorrow.